Ciao amici ed amiche, sono sempre io, il vostro Riccardo. Anche oggi prosegue la personal route dell'associazione Il Grillo. La protagonista della nostra video intervista è Anja, brillante ragazza tedesca di 21 anni e studentessa del corso di social work all'Università di Stoccarda. Prestate particolare attenzione alle dichiarazioni di Anja, che ci illustrerà le misure restrittive adottate nel suo paese e ci dirà come una ragazza appena ventenne percepisca questa situazione emergenziale. Considerata l'enorme mole di informazioni presenti nella video intervista, abbiamo ritenuto opportuno suddividerla in 2 puntate per renderne maggiormente fruibile il contenuto. Quindi godetevi questa prima parte e ci diamo appuntamento alla prossima settimana per la seconda parte della video intervista. Un saluto e buona visione.
Just before we start, we can make this thing together. Oh, okay, as a good girl, you just empty the bottle, empty
I
the
left
glass.
more.
Okay, just pour it like a...
One. I have 2. I don't know how long the interview will take, so I have 2 beers here.
Fine. As a good German girl should do.
I do what expected from me.
So, at what?
And that things will be better. Will be better soon, and you can go out too on the street. Fine.
To you. Prost.
Prost. Salute.
Salute.
Salute. Almost.
Okay. You want to know?
Exactly.
I know that you're curious about it.
Yeah, of course.
This is help me. This is a super alcoholic.
Oh.
I mean, this one is really typical of my region where I live, and it's called Mistral. And actually, this is homemade. My father do it. I tell this story to all the interviewed. Made from grapes and anise.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, it's something like this. It's pretty. It tastes a lot like anise, and it's the main flavor in it.
So it's something between grappa and ouzo.
Perfect. You have a degree in that.
Yeah, I have a degree in alcohol, not officially, but.
Okay. You are still studying.
Yeah, I'm studying.
Honoris causa degree.
Lifetime studies.
Okay. What is going on in Germany? How is the situation? I mean, the perception that we have here in Italy is that, you are just going through this really easily. And I mean, it's my perception. But I think that everything is going quite better than in the rest of the Europe, in Germany. So how is it going?
It's going but I don't think that, for example, this situation that we have less deaths than Italy or something has not something to do that we reacted better or earlier or something. It's just that our healthcare system, the capacity is bigger, and it's just, they have not enough space. So, at the moment, I think the number of new infections has gone down really strong since they put on more restrictions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Stuff is, I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks ago that we aren't allowed to go out on the streets with more than 2 people.
Okay, with more than 2 people.
Yeah, that's.
So you can gather together. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only restriction. But people living together, for example, families, but also me here with my roommates, we can go out together too.
Okay, fine.
But I'm also allowed to meet someone outside when we're only 2 people. This is also still allowed.
Okay. So
But you have to see that you can't speak for whole Germany. I don't know. You know that we have like 16 smaller states.
Lenders.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You have 16 lenders, no? Like region with that they are really autonomous in their decision.
Yes. For example, for all these restrictions for going out and stuff, the lenders, they can decide themselves. For example, here where I live and almost whole Germany, as I said, you are still allowed to go out. Best example is I can go out, take my book and sit there, read my book. But for example, in Bavaria, you know, next to the place where I live, they aren't allowed to go out. It's like in Italy, like it's only for shopping groceries and stuff.
And Bavaria is the one of the districts that are more strict, I imagine.
I think so, but I think where I live, the district is also just as, you know.
Just like Bavaria.
Yeah, but they have like stricter restrictions on that.
Okay, I understand.
We are joking in Germany because, you know, the Bavarians, they always want to do their own thing. And they are so much better at their thing, and you know that.
Okay, fine. They are, you know, the classy one in Bavaria. I understand.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, no, fine. How is the area struck at the worst in Germany? Is Bavaria, and there are even other area in Germany, maybe near Berlin. There is the capital city. Probably there is a bigger number of infected.
You mean the number of infections?
Yeah.
It's in north. It's not northern West Germany. That's where it's called Kreis Heinsberg. Now everybody
I'm not going to repeat that. No, absolutely.
It's really famous now in Germany because there everything started. There were the first infection, and yes, exactly, this area was struck the most from that. Yeah.
So how is your perception to this epidemic? I mean, there is a moment when you think that the things are starting to get really serious, and maybe, you know, you have to be careful about something, or you are comfortable about this. I mean, you feel that okay, there is an emergency going on, but you can still handle, and you don't feel the urge upon you by being outside and all the other. So I don't know, what is your perception about this?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of March, with the first cases in Germany, the atmosphere was still calm. Everybody was like still joking about that. For example, me, I got the flu, and everybody was like, "Oh, you had the coronavirus," and I was like,
"Really?
Shut the fuck up!" And everybody was joking, and then it started the stockpiling. You know, when you went to the supermarket and you couldn't buy toilet paper and pasta. Yeah, that was, I think, when it started, when I noticed that there's something really serious going on, which is going to last for a longer time.
Okay, I understand.
So, yeah, but as I said back then, we were joking like, oh, it's not that serious. But I think when I really noticed that the serious was only then when the government set the measures, when they said, okay, the first thing they said was that they forbid events with more than 1,000 visitors.
1,000, so 1,000 visitors. Okay, fine.
That's the first thing. I think that was at the beginning of March.
I remember this. Yes, I remember this. But I remember because we were further in the restriction, and when I heard about this thing that they forbid people to gather over 1,000 people, I was thinking, okay, fine, better for them. Because at that moment I think that we can go outside in that moment, maybe.
I think it was around the 10th of March, something like that.
Probably. Probably they were starting here in Italy to just locking down people in their houses.
Yeah.
I do not well remember. What I want to ask is, how did the newspaper and the media just give the information to you? I mean, about the outbreak. I mean, does you feel that they are giving pressure to you in a way or another, or you feel just they are giving you the real fact, and you feel, like comfortable about hearing your news and your media?
Yeah, I had a talk with my best friend about that last week, and we were like, well, actually, in all the channels on TV, there are special episodes about the coronavirus, and she noticed that everything is like really, it's red, and everywhere is the picture of the virus, and it's like, it's like really alarming when you look at it. And
okay, fine.
Yeah, and they're also like, I don't know how to say, the public news, which is, paid by the state.
Okay, I understand. Yes.
At the beginning, it was like in the mid of March. It was always like first part of the news is about the coronavirus, and the second big part was about the situation at the border in Turkey. With the refugees.
Yes.
But I think over the last.
At least you talk about that. Here in Italy, we're not talking about that. Okay, great.
But what I wanted to say now is, over the weeks, it disappeared from the news, the situation in Turkey. So the coronavirus was kind of the main part of the news, and there was only little other parts about that. It's like the focus on it everywhere.
Yeah, this is, I mean, there are a lot of urgencies going on right now. I mean, of course, the coronavirus is what is striking us at the most. I'm not arguing with that, but there are a lot crises going on, and we are, losing the focus about a lot of crises going on. And this one, the situation about the refugees near Turkey, is one of that, because even for them there is the coronavirus. And it's us, but it's even for them, and their situation is pretty crazy, because they live together.
People even say that this is the intention of the government, that all the attention goes on the virus, so that we forget about what bad things are happening right now, like when everything is, coronavirus in our mind.
Yeah, we were talking with another guys that I interviewed, Jin from South Korea. You probably don't meet him in the Camino, probably not.
No, I don't remember. No.
But we were talking about that because people tend to react to the stimulus news now, and the really stimulating one now is the coronavirus. And so you were talking about the first restrictive measure, no? That they stop people to gather together over a certain number. But what our measure they take you? I mean, after that, what other measures was being taken there in Germany?
So I think the first restrictions that was around the 16th of March, where, for example, I was in the hospital at that time, and I noticed that because no visitors were allowed anymore. So I had to spend my birthday alone in the hospital, and that struck me.
Experience in your life too.
So that was when I noticed, okay, that's serious. I will never forget that birthday. And at that time, restaurants, for example, they were only allowed to be open at until 8 o'clock in the evening, and they were obliged to sit the people on the tables, not on the counter. That was the first, and that all schools were shut down at that time. All children daycare centers and stuff, and also all the retail trade shops, everything was shut down like around the 16th of March.
16 of okay.
Yeah, and then 1 week later, they set the lockdown for all the restaurants like completely. So they had to close completely. Yeah, and this is since then. That was also when around the 23rd of March when they said that we aren't allowed to go out by more than 2 people. That was kind of the last, most strict measure, and that's the situation since then. Yeah.
And right now, you have the same situation?
We have the same situation now, but there will be some changes next week.
Okay, you are going to, get people more free from the next week.
Yeah, they will start next week. There was a conference with the chancellor, with Angela Merkel, and they said that on Monday they will reopen like retail trade shops, all kinds of, with less than 800 square meters.
800 square meters. Okay, fine. I understand.
So shops, but restaurants, bars, and clubs, it's still closed. Everything, yeah.
Everything is closed. Okay, fine. And just a question for just because I'm curious, but what can the central government in Germany, what kind of power have to just handle this emergency? I mean, they can. I think that of course they have the power to rule over the administration of a lander, I think, right? Yeah. But they haven't done that since now. I mean, they let the various lender free to rule them all.
Yeah, well, actually, at the beginning, when all these rules were set, there was kind of a conference of the bosses of all the landers, which came together, who said, yes, we can do our own rules, but we want to do it together. Yeah, and that's why, like, kind of almost whole Germany has the same rules except from Bavaria.
Okay, fine, because they are
there are slight differences. For example, with what you have to pay when you break a rule. These are little differences, but it's kind of all the same. They say, yes, we are a country, all is one, and we do it together, except for Bavaria.
Okay, except for Bavaria. Okay, fine. Your friends from Bavaria are going to see this video,
I don't have so many, but I have some. I will share them. But even they will laugh about it, because they know it.
Okay, fine. And how did the population, how did you react, and the population react to those measures being taken? I mean, they think that they were necessary to protect them, and they think that those measures that were taken are enough.
Well, as I told you, we are still really free. For example, as I said, 2 people outside, but there are no restrictions about meeting people inside of their houses, which theoretically means I can meet my friends at their homes as long as we don't go outside. But this is the thing, because when at the end of March all that started, in media there were a lot of advertisements, little clips with a lot of celebrities from all branches who made like little, we stay at home. As you said, we stay at home, and I also stay at home, and you see all the famous faces, like they were advertising, they were like, they wanted the people to stay at home. Yeah, also they did like great clips all over the TV, like we want to thank all the people that keep the thing running, and all the in the hospital and stuff,
like nurses and doctors.
Yeah, and they really did great clips which are going on and on the TV to make the people stay at home, which is that the awareness is really high. So, for example, I have some friends, they are really strict about it. And last week I was visiting a friend in Stuttgart. And they were like, oh, come on, how can you do that? you didn't get that thing about social, and it really felt really bad because it's another question how you think about it. But yeah, as I said, also I'm calling my mom and she's always like, you stay at home, please don't go out. So there have always there have also been surveys in the German population if they think that the measures are enough, and I think the majority, I think 58% of the people said we even want stricter measures to get the thing under control. So
okay, I understand. Okay, fine. Right. Well, you live I think that you live where you are. I mean, maybe you live. How can I say it? You live a better situation, maybe of the surrounding city. Is my perception about that?
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe you live in a better situation there in Stuttgart than the other cities in Germany. I mean, Stuttgart. I mean, what I want to say, ask is if it's Stoccarda is have a less infected ratio than the rest of Germany.
No, in fact, not really. I think we are placed 3 or 4 in Germany. I think especially my city here, I live in Esslingen, it's a city next to Stuttgart. We have like a really high percentage of infections. Yeah, but I don't think that the number of infections like in the different regions have so many influence on how aware the people are. It's like kind of everywhere the same, yeah. I think.